Each morning, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. We have USAR that is ripping in the pre-market. It got as high as $40.16 in the pre-market. It's already getting a pretty decent pullback. I'm going to go over that chart, as well as CoreWeave. So AI data centers are back in the news, and we're having a nice surge to the upside. I've got a key technical resistance level for CoreWeave that I'm going to be going over in the show, as well as some of your requests. Some of you jumped on early and said, hey, Ben, would you like to go over these particular stocks for me? And I said, sure. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there will be some that are on your guys' radar in addition to mine. So the first one we're going to go over is Oracle. I really love this chart. Again, I go over this almost every time I go live because it's trading in this nice range, respecting the support and resistance levels. So let's jump into the ORCL chart. So Oracle had a nice little bid on Friday. I did have a long level at $171.14. This was a prior gap fill that I still like this for a potential trade. However, now that it's already kissed that level for the second time, it is up a little bit this morning, but if it breaks this level at $171.14, I have an additional level at $163.08. If we get a nice bid to the upside on Oracle, I'm looking at a short level at $191.09. You have this beautiful gap in the charts with this nice sell-off. So once price action gets back into this gap, you should have a nice rejection. I'm also looking at this wide range green bar candle right here, as well as all of these pivots. So $199.05 would be an additional level for me to add to the position. And or if you guys are less aggressive, $199.05 could be your first entry, knowing that I've got $204.96 wide range red bar candle. This is a previous gap in the charts, as well as this wide range. It's not really a wide range red bar candle, but you still have some buyers who are stuck in this red bar candle right here and should send the stock down if we get into this level today. Again, keep that on your radar, 205 or 204.96. AMD is another stock that I'm eyeing. I don't really have any levels yet. This could be a potential topping tail or topping signal in AMD, looking to continue to roll over. What you're looking at is $253.88 as the minor support. If you start breaking that, you could head all the way down to $232.06. For me, this would be the first level that I would go long. AMD has done a pretty substantial job at identifying key support levels and respecting those. As you can see, it got up to this double top area and got a nice pullback. And so that way, if it does drop down to $231.92, that would be my entry price. And I would be looking for about a 1 to 3% bounce off of that level, knowing that if it does fail, I've got additional support right here at about $223.73. AVGO is another stock that we've been monitoring for quite some time. I was actually anticipating a little bit more of a sell-off. It did get a nice bounce off of this $316.75 level. And now in the pre-market, we're trading just above that. So if we get another sell-off, I've got just above this gap fill sitting right at $306.26. I would actually start an entry there, knowing that I've got this long level right here, wide range green bar candle at $298.24 for the stock of AVGO. MU, a couple of the memory stocks are starting to look top heavy. The buyers keep trying to push it up and up and up. MU finally got above 400, stalled out there, got to 410, which was our level on Friday. I actually took that. And then SanDisk is starting to show some signs of weakness as well. If we get a nice drop in SanDisk, I do have a long level for you. I haven't had a long level for you guys in a while, but I'm going to go over that first. Let's take a look at MU. So my shortable level on Friday was a short at $410. It did get up to as high as $412. Got a nice pullback. Now, if it gets back up to the 410 level, I'm not interested. However, 415 today, I'm going to go ahead and change this. 415 is going to be that first shortable level for me on the chart of MU. I don't really have any upsloping trend lines or anything. So what I'm doing is I'm targeting a whole round number at $415 after it's already made a move above 400 and got the 410 level. So that's my next level of resistance, knowing that it could go as high as $425. I think this would be, for me, the max upside today for $425 on the chart of MU. Now, if it does drop, you could pick this up for a long at $362.75. Wide range green bar candle right here. This was a previous gap in the charts. As you can see, it was respected and then got this nice bounce off of it. So if it gets back into this level, buyers will likely step up on this trade. Now let's take a look at SanDisk. I had a shortable level at $525.27. It never got up there. It did pierce $510 and then got a pullback. Now it's trading at $473.55 in the pre-market. If you get a little bit of a drop, your first level of support is $453.46. I am not a buyer at that level. I'm going to wait for this gap in the charts at $387.81. It seems like it's really far away, but however we take this measurement, that's an 18% move. Now, if we zoom back, look at the movement that this stock can have. It can drop 35% in a matter of time. And then look at this. This was a 22% move just in this wide range red bar candle before this huge surge to the upside. So again, this is an aggressive level, but I'm still looking to go long at $387.18 if we can get a pullback. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a rare earth stock, USAR. It got as high as $40.16. If it gets up above $31.59, this is your first real aggressive level, even though it has already gotten up to $40.16. I still like this as a potential short trade in the regular trading hours, knowing that I've got additional resistance at $37.55 on a 15-minute closing basis. I actually would probably do this on a 10-minute closing basis. If it closed above that $31.59 on a 15-minute close or 10-minute closing basis, I would likely stop out and then wait for this level. And the reason is I know there's resistance, but that's an 18% move to the upside just to get to this next level of resistance. And then you've got $40.16 as additional resistance. If this one fails, this would be the second level you would enter, knowing that you've got this resistance at $40.16 on the way up. Let's go ahead and dive into CoreWeave. Nice move to the upside. It did get up to as high as $104. For me, I'm looking at a short level in the live day trading room at $105.61, knowing that I've got a previous wide range green bar candle right here, the low end of it at $110.03. I could add to the position. And then look at this wide range red bar candle. This would be the high end, knowing that I've got additional resistance at $115.94. So each one of these levels has a little bit less restriction, or they're a little bit less aggressive, excuse me. So if you wanted to start at 105, that's more of aggressive, a little bit less aggressive. And this is the level that I would definitely trade this at $115.94. All right, Intel, not a whole lot going on. It's trading about a $44.06. This is your first gap in the charts. I did have this on the radar for Friday. I'm no longer interested. Now I'm looking to pick this up at a long trade at $41.11 if it does drop there on Intel. Let's go ahead and jump into Palantir. This was somebody in the chat before I went live asked about Palantir. For me, it's kind of chopping sideways at the lower end of this red bar candle, putting in some bearish consolidation. So for me, my first long level is sitting at $154.85. If we get a nice surge to the upside, you should have some resistance about $180. But for me, I still like a short level at $188.62. As you can see, we're kind of trading in no man's land. Not a ton of support or ton of resistance that I would be really interested until it made a significant move either to the upside or the downside. SoundHound was another stock that somebody was asking me about as well. Your first level of support is going to be slightly lower. You're looking at about a 3% drop, and that's a pierce of $10 on SoundHound. For me, my first long level would be $91.71. You've got this low pivot, and this is a major pivot in the charts. So when I look at major pivots, I look at what the extended move was off of that pivot. And as you can see, just the first leg up was 76%. So if anybody had taken profits and waited for this price action to come back in, they're likely to pick this back up at $91.70, knowing that I've got this minor gap in the charts right here sitting just below it at basically a pierce of $9.50. So that could be another opportunity to go long or add to the position. All right. I know I had a couple other stocks on my radar. However, that should be enough information. And if you guys had any, I know I go through the charts pretty quickly. So if you need to go back and rewind before the market opens, feel free to do that. You guys don't want to miss Gareth Soloway. He's going to be going live in less than 5 minutes, talking about this bullish run in not only silver, but gold and other commodities that are just continuing to rip. And he's going to be talking about how the S&P 500 and the QQQs have a potential for a lot more downside. So you guys don't want to miss that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me at 8:45. Thank you so much for the questions. I love to know what's interesting to you guys and what's on your radar. So I want to make sure I go over a couple of those trades setups for you guys. If you guys are getting something out of this, please make sure you're liking, following, and subscribing and sharing with your friends so that way they can get this market information as well. And with that said, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys next time in the charts. Take care.